Hi, I'm Adam, and welcome to Madhouse Props. Today I'm going to be building something that is very near and dear to my heart, an identity disc from Tron Legacy. As a fan of the Tron films ever since I was a kid, I always wanted an identity disc because of how cool they were. But by the time I was able to buy one, they were no longer on the shelves, and now, 12 years later, you'd have to spend at least $200 for one.
What? What the fuck?
I refuse to buy that much money on a plastic toy. Instead, I'm gonna be making one with a fairly tight budget, around $60 at most. The first thing I was looking for was materials. Normally I would go for a big piece of PVC, but this time...
Yikes, that's expensive.
So I looked for other alternatives. And lo and behold...
Perfect!
The main materials for this build are 2 Lazy Susans, each being about $10 each, and a set of pipe cleaners. If you're wondering about other materials, I totally didn't spend another nearly $20 on other materials that completely didn't work because of a lack of foresight.
Why must I do this to myself? Why? Why?
Anyways, onto the build. The first thing I did was unscrew the bottom pieces of the Lazy Susans off. After that, I hit them with the file and found that trying to make them flat with the file was not going to be that effective. So I went to some slightly more powerful machinery. After a solid hour of sanding these discs down with the machinery, I realized one thing. It's not doing the job. So I had to upgrade. That's working. Slowly, but it's working. I have a feeling I might want to swap out hardware because this thing's a little bit on the old side. So I pulled out my trusty Makita, attached the sanding gear to it, and started sanding away. And even after just a solid minute of sanding, it works like a charm. So after the first disc was done, I moved straight onto the second one and sanded both sides to be completely flat. Or as flat as I possibly could get them. The next thing I did was cut out a template roughly the same size as the disc and started drawing out where the holes was going to be, as well as the little chamfer pieces on the outside. Alright. That'll have to do for now. I'll do it on the second disc in a bit, but I'll just work with that first one for now. The next step for me was to actually use my drill press. Considering I couldn't cut holes into my disc, I had to use the drill press to drill holes and then brute force my way through the rest of it. However, while I was drilling, something very peculiar happened. The drill head came off. Oh, that's a problem. Now it's just completely dislodged. And again. Yep, done it again. And again. It's done it again! And again. But by the time the fourth breakage happened, the disc was already cut out, at least for the most part, so I could fix that in my free time. The next step was actually fairly easy and a little bit fun. I used my Dremel to essentially smooth down all the cut edges, as well as just fix a lot of the issues that I had before. After that, I decided to refine my sanding process with my hand files, specifically targeting the chamfer bits that are on the outside edges. However, I did use a bigger file for the inside edge, mainly just to fix up the circular pattern, because the Dremel was not perfect. The next step is to use the template again to draw out the inner ring. With this, you'll be able to use the drill press again to cut out the inner ring. Finally, after days and days of slaving away and what seemed to be little to no progress, I finally managed to make some genuine progress and was ready to start the proper construct. Well, at least I got the spare one. Alright, I'm done.